Live video is starting. It likes to tell me that a lot. And come on, computer, I do believe in you. There we go. Okay, hello. Hi, everyone. Hopefully, this is now streaming and you can see me and you can hear me. You are, as you can hopefully see in here, I'm just refreshing on the group because it doesn't want to. There we go. Okay. Hello, let's start this properly. So, as you can probably see, I've got a lovely guest with me today, which is very, very exciting. This is the wonderful Michelle Akester-Marsh. I'm sorry I've said that wrong, but um, who has joined us today to come and talk to us about the Christmas festive period. Because if you are anything like me, I am already stressed. It is the 1st of December and just so much has happened already. And I know that for a lot of us, that is exactly the same, particularly when we have little ones, particularly when the nativity is happening and Elf on the Shelf. And there's just so much that we squeeze into our lives to try and make it magical for our kids, which of course is what we want. But we still need to make time for ourselves. So that's why I have asked Michelle if she'll come and talk to us today. And she very sweetly said she can squeeze us in this early on in the month, which is amazing. So this is, if you can't watch all of this live now, that's not a problem. I will pin it to the featured tab of this group, and I'll also be sharing it into my main profile as well. And obviously, Michelle, feel free to share it wherever you'd like to. But otherwise, I will hand over to Michelle to tell us a little bit more about what she does because she's amazing. Off you go, Michelle.
Wow, what an introduction. Thanks so much, Jen.
Thanks so much
It's
for
lovely to
coming.
be here. So yeah, I'm Michelle, Akester-Marsh, and you're not the only person to get that wrong, so that's fine. I should really, should have just gone with Marsh, which is my husband's name, rather than try and be independent and keep my maiden name. Anyway, so I'm here today to talk to you about the C.A.L.M method of Christmas. So this is your antidote to overwhelm and overgiving this season. So just to give a bit of background, I'm Michelle, as I said. I'm a wife, mum of two boys who are 13 and 9. We are still keeping the magic alive in our house currently, and it will always be magic anyway. I live up in Scotland after a huge family move a couple of years ago, where we just decided we wanted to change. And I'm the founder of Unshakable Mama, so I'm a life coach and healer, and a family focused feminist, which basically means that I want to see change in society. I believe that feminism's backfired because all it's done is overload working mums. But by prioritizing our own well-being, and our own, like, changing our mindset shifts and working through the challenges with ease, rather than getting dragged down by them, we actually become the most incredible. We're already amazing, but we become even better role models to our kids and to our families. And I've seen so many changes in my own home just from me prioritizing my own sanity, basically. How I can help my kids, how much time my husband gives himself to relax, for example. Like, I've led by example in our home, and it kind of ripples out into the wider community. So so Christmas is a time when it's all systems go. And it's a time of year where mums feel like everything has to be perfect. And just my first tip of the day is I've actually removed the word perfect from my vocab, because I really strongly believe that perfection is a perception and it means something completely different to everybody, and probably even to you, on, depending on your mood, depending what's going on in the day, etc. So perfectionism is something that I really help my mums with, or work through and to push aside because it doesn't exist. But yeah, so the C.A.L.M methods, within my program Unshakable Mama, I use something called the C.A.L.M method, which I've devised. So this is all about connecting and gaining clarity on your deeper purpose alongside motherhood. So I live by this mantra: I'm always a mum, but I'm not only a mum. And then my other favorite is I'll never be this young again. So actually, like, if I'm not having fun and enjoying my own life, then literally, what is the point? In a really, like, blunt way, what is the point if we're not going to have fun along the way? And so many mums I meet and work with, we just don't have enough space in our diaries to actually fully enjoy our lives. I certainly didn't. So getting clear on what it is you really want. And then the second pillar is align. So that was connect. Second pillar is align, which is all about setting boundaries to protect your time and energy. And we know that we've got limited time. We know we've got endless demands on our precious time and energy. So strong boundaries really ensures that your energy is invested in what feels good for you. And you can invest in things that feel good for you and your family. It's not all about your family and your kids and everything. So what are the things that really light you up, and those boundaries help you stay focused on that. So then the third one, I'll give some really real good examples in a minute related to Christmas, but just to give you the overview. So pillar 3 is liberate. So the L of the calm. So this is about mastering a gratitude mindset and nervous system and emotional regulation. And when you live in a place of gratitude, and you feel that life is happening for you, you can find the good even when the days feel hard or exhausting or whatever. And when you're regulated from a nervous system point of view and emotionally, and when you can help regulate your kids' emotions as well, you become a lot more resilient and confident and calm overall. And you're able to respond to any of those stresses, any of the things that cause you stress. Or at Christmas time, it's often the people as well, like maybe your parents or your in-laws. Maybe it's just the kids being absolutely completely hyper. But yeah, you're able to respond rather than react. When I say respond, like take that breath before you blow your top, or before you snap or whatever. And it just helps to ensure that relationships are healthier, that you're thinking more clearly, that you're communicating more effectively. And then the M of the CALM method is manifest, which is about taking aligned action steps towards what it is that you want. So your goals, your dreams, and these tiny little intentional action steps. It could be like something really simple. It could even be that I'm going to have a rest today. That is an action. A rest is productive, especially when you're running around like a headless chicken. And when we take actions towards our own values and our own desires, then they compound over time, and eventually you kind of realize, oh, I've actually achieved that. Wow, it's amazing. Or wow, that feels easier than it used to, or whatever. So you basically taking action without sacrificing your family time and your own peace. So putting them into context really around Christmas, so what do you want? Like what is your ideal Christmas? What does Christmas actually look like for you? For me personally, I mean, I think probably giving personal examples is probably going to be really helpful. My husband and I love a really quiet Christmas. We don't want to be rushing around. We don't want to be spending a fortune. What's important to us is who we're spending it with, the company, or whether it's just the four of us or whether it's our actual family, and the food, and just having nice food. It's not about, like for me, like I hate spending a fortune on presents and being forced to. It's like it's like society, socially acceptable consumerism at Christmas, that there's so much pressure to actually like buy loads of presents and stuff. So what is it that we actually want? Like, what are the things that work for you that actually make you feel energized rather than drain you completely? Because we want to be looking at the things that are energizing you as a busy parent. And what is really important? What are those traditions that you want to keep, and what are the ones you want to ditch? Just because we're told that we have to have Christmas dinner on Christmas Day, it doesn't mean that we have to. One of the most transformational things for our calmer Christmas was a few years ago. We decided that we weren't going to have dinner on Christmas Day anymore, and we were going to do it on Christmas Eve. So on Christmas Day, we were just having like party foods, like, go and get some, I don't know, like stuff you can shove in the oven, or all the leftovers. And it really took the pressure off it, because what I was finding was before I was spending time in the kitchen, cooking for people, And the grandparents would be there, bless them, throwing presents at my children. I was missing out on everything. I didn't know who had bought what, and there's carnage, and I missed a lot. And that's not what it's about for me. That, like, the thing for me is like actually seeing the joy for my children. So yeah. So what is most important to you? And like making those memories. So yeah, your family values, and just taking a mindful approach. And then the next part, like the align, is all about boundaries. Like there's just so much I can say about this. We can probably be here for hours, but this is about, oh, I've already talked about like perfectionism myth. So let's just don't do this to ourselves this year. Like go back. What is it that's actually important? And the rest that will be perfect. Because the last thing your kids want really, or your husband or whoever wants, is a stressed out you rushing around. In actual fact, I realized a few years ago that I was kind of trying to steer Christmas, trying to make sure that other people didn't have to get stressed out about it, like my husband. And what I realized over the years is that I was actually denying him his own joy of getting involved in the planning of Christmas, because he loves Christmas more than me. I actually consider myself quite a Scrooge. I like it very simple, like the simple the better, more simple the better. But yeah, so now it's very much a team effort. And actually he's the one that really drives it forward. He's the one nagging me, we need to sort out Christmas presents. But that's been like a balance tip over the years. So that was quite an interesting reflection and acknowledgement for me. I mean, I'm talking a good few years ago now, that I realized that he wanted to get involved and I was stopping him from his own joy, because otherwise he's just stuck at work, and yeah. So the other thing really around the boundaries is not overcommitting yourself. All year round we overcommit ourselves. That's just what we do as mums. We're trying to make sure our kids are going to this club and that club and aren't missing out. Then we're trying to make sure that we're seeing our friends and having our own social life. We've got work commitments, we've got all the commitments. And at Christmas, the diary just gets even more packed. You're literally running from place to place to place. And the most important thing for a calm Christmas is to make sure you have space in your diary. And have you ever heard of JOMO?
No.
So JOMO is the joy of missing out.
Right.
And sometimes like there is nothing better than missing out. Even though I used to hate it, like, oh, missing out, I can't possibly miss out. But actually, once you start to say no to things, because I got to the point where I was saying yes to everything, but then wasn't enjoying anything because I was just too exhausted to enjoy it, or the financial pressure. So then when we're actually like making that space in our diary, and if there's, I would physically write keep free in my diary, and it's something that I do year round, not just at Christmas. And if an invitation happened to come up at that time, I was like, oh, no, I'm busy. Just making space. Just keeping the space free, because some in that space, things come up, like either it's a chance to catch up on the unexpected things that we haven't been able to do for Christmas, for example, or it's some extra time to wrap presents or whatever, or it's maybe that space you need to sit and snuggle with your kids and actually just watch a film of hot chocolate or something like that, and actually relax without feeling like you have to be somewhere else. And so yeah, that's a good one, that not overcommitting. And then like managing excited children. Okay, that's kind of unavoidable really. Like children get excited at Christmas because at the end of the day, Christmas is magic because of the children. But yeah, it can be really triggering when they're like absolutely jumping off the walls, and there's lots of magic that we have to make. I don't want to say anything because children might be listening, I don't know, but yeah, it's about like going back to that gratitude mindset, like what is important to you, and why is it important to you, and feeling grateful for these happy, excited children. Because, you know, I've got a 9-year-old and a 13-year-old. Well, the 13-year-old's a bit like done, you know, he's very good at keeping the magic alive, but at the same time he kind of lacks enthusiasm, which slightly, you know, he's brilliant, but then so it doesn't last. So like with the excited children, it's like, okay, well, I can just like take a breather. When you've created that space and that downtime, you can actually deal with the excitement a lot better. Yeah. And then, you know, more about boundaries. It's like, it's okay to ask for help. Like if you've got people coming over for Christmas dinner, then blinking well expect them to bring stuff over or help in the kitchen, or, you know, tell them what they can do to help. Because people are very good at asking if they can help, but and I'm speaking for myself, you know, in past, like we're not, I didn't used to be somebody who was very good at accepting help. This is such a common theme. You know, we're not very good at asking for help, we're not very good at receiving help. So that person who's actually asked, can I help, can I do anything to help, they genuinely want to help, but they don't actually know how they can help. So we have to actually say, right, yes, please peel those spuds, or I don't know, put that decoration on the tree, or set the table, or whatever it is, or, you know, wrap this present or something like that. Yeah, so just ask for help, accept the help, and yeah, it's a really good way to say no to stress. Yeah. And the other thing is, like, going back to like space in the diary, we are able to say no. Like, no is a word on its own, you know, we can say no, that's fine. Yeah, so that's a few little boundaries. Oh, and incidentally, my husband and I have said no to presents this year. We, as in to the family, the whole family, we've literally just said we're not buying presents this year for anyone, because we need a new roof, actually. And we have to remortgage our house. That's kind of really important.
Yeah.
But it doesn't mean that we don't love our family. It just means that nobody actually needs anything. Like, they can buy it themselves. They're big enough and old enough and whatever. And I just hate that, having to buy for the sake of buying. Like, I'd rather just buy my mum, or my, you know, my family, like sisters or whatever, just like a gift throughout the year somewhere, just randomly. So yeah. So the Liberate is about is really about remembering to be kind to yourself. So, and coming back to that place of gratitude. So what are you really thankful for already? When life is feeling stressful, what are you really thankful for? You know, you've got a roof over your head, you've got a warm home, even when it just feels crazy chaos. Like, just take a deep breath. And, you know, you might have to leave the room and come, you know, take a few deep breaths and go back in again, for example. And yeah, again, saying no, to be kind, it can be really hard, but saying it's really kind to yourself. And just be like really mindful of your energy throughout the day. Like, how are you feeling? So if you are feeling a bit stressed about Christmas and about how things are going, you know, about the busyness or the finances, or, you know, how much time you've got left to get everything prepared, or maybe the post is taking a while to come, or whatever, just take a breath. I mean, I've got so many different reset tools. That's kind of my what I teach, really, is the reset tools and like the mindset shifts that go along it. So I just, you know, a simple one could be just look at, when you're feeling a bit stressed, look at yourself in the mirror and just smile at yourself and just tell yourself you're doing such an amazing job, and hey, you're only human. And that's a really powerful tool that I teach my clients, because we don't see ourselves as real people often. Like, we're very much like, we're just going through the motions. So yeah. And it might just be that you need to turn your back on everybody on Christmas Day, for example, because it's a bit crazy, or while you're stirring the gravy or whatever. Most people pour it on from a kettle now, don't we? But just take 3 deep breaths, and again, just like remind yourself, okay, what is going right?
Mm.
What is actually going right? Okay, so what if dinner's going to be late on the table? So what if the presents aren't all perfectly wrapped with ribbons? If they're wrapped but they don't have the ribbons on this year, does it matter? um so yeah, just love yourself as well as everybody else. It's not egotistical and vain to love yourself. It is absolutely essential as a mother, and an individual person, a woman in your own right, or a parent in your own right. If you're not a mum and you're dad watching this, it's absolutely essential to prioritize your own needs and desires. And everyone will have so much happier time if you're in a good place. um and then, like, the final pillar, manifest. It's just, what is it that you can do today just to move the needle forwards to making the Christmas you want? And then once again, it might be that you just need a rest. It might be that nothing needs to happen today, and not get stressed about it. And yeah, so what do you need to do today to be that new improved Christmas mum or parent? And yeah, so I hope that sort of helps. A bit of a whistle stop tour, really, of Christmas through the C.A.L.M methods.
Absolutely, that was wonderful. It was so interesting to go through it all, and a lot of things that really resonated. And I was very much like, oh yeah, we do that with teaching as well. Like, we use the phrase in this group of practice makes progress, not practice makes perfect, because there's no such thing. And you're absolutely right. If we're telling our kids that, why do we continue to tell ourselves that it's got to be perfect or it's got to be
Yeah.
held? Um, and actually, you were saying about steering Christmas, which is really interesting, having seen my own parents do the same thing, where my dad actually loves cooking Christmas dinner. That's all he wants to do. He doesn't really want to be involved in the presents and all of the excitement. That's too much for him. So mum used to cook Christmas dinner and now doesn't. It's all dad's job and he loves it. And it's a much calmer Christmas in exactly the way you described. Um, and yeah, I mean, I love present buying. I love it, but I very much do. My family buys presents through the year and then saves them for Christmas. So mine's all done. It's all there. It's all already behind the curtain. But in exactly as you were saying, it's about what does Christmas mean to you? And I love being able to look at it and be like, my brother would love that, but he won't remember that he's loved that until Christmas. And then they open it and they're like, oh my gosh, I would never have bought that for myself because I would have thought it was, frivolous or something. So exactly as you say, like having a think about what makes Christmas special for you. You were saying about watching your kids open presents, exactly that, and having that time as a family, having that time together. Such a great way to do it. So thank you so much for coming to talk to us
You're
about
so
that. I
welcome.
think it's a great method. Do you mind just very quickly going over what the four letters stand for? So you've
Yeah,
got
of
C,
course. So it's C as connect,
connect,
align,
align.
liberate, and manifest.
Amazing. Thank you so
Our
much.
method. But you can apply it to any area of life.
Mm, absolutely.
It's
Yeah.
like,
It's
what do I want today? What do I want this year?
yeah,
So not just Christmas, but
yeah,
it's really
yeah.
powerful.
And obviously you've given us a really good snapshot of how you can use it on Christmas, but in the broader scheme of things, it's a lot harder to set boundaries, a lot harder to control yourself.
Mhm.
And that's where I know you have the incredible Unshakable Mama program. Is that right?
That's right, yeah.
Which is, how long is that again?
It's a 16-week program. It was 8 weeks. I've actually changed it because I was just finding that I wanted to support people on a
Mm-hmm.
more deeply, on a deep level. So it's all very much about implementing these things, because
Yeah.
the thing with anything really is like this is very, very simple.
Mm-hmm.
It's such a simple method, but the thing is remembering, like, the first of all, the hardest thing is deciding to do it and, like, starting. But then life happens and we fall off the bandwagon.
Mm-hmm.
And so, this will happen if you're following what I've just said for Christmas. You will have days where it all feels like it's going to pot.
Mm-hmm.
um but we just have to get back on the bandwagon again. But that's part of Unshakable Mama, is the fact that they've got that support, like,
Mm.
okay, like, that loving kind of like, come on, let me take you by the hand again, let's
Yeah.
get up, let's get up.
Yeah.
uh,
Absolutely.
get on you go, just you can do this, and just celebration all the way. So,
Yeah.
support through the lows and celebration of the highs. Because what I find is like this is so important during this busy Christmas period. What I find happens so often with my clients is that we don't even acknowledge all the incredible things we've done. We're so focused on what we haven't done
Mm.
and what we need to do that, all these things throughout the day that you've done just
Get left.
get forgot.
Yeah.
They're not acknowledged, and
Mm.
you don't. So it's so important to reflect on what we've actually done in the day.
I think that's really
What have you
important.
done?
Yeah,
Yeah, it's so much.
absolutely.
Like even the basic stuff, like, oh well, I've got my kids breakfast.
Yeah,
I got
yeah,
myself dressed. I brushed my hair. I put a Christmas jumper on
absolutely.
today.
Yeah, exactly.
That's made me happy.
Exactly. Yeah, 100%. And I think you're right. I think that's really important to take some time to think about that as well. So obviously I've shared all your links to your social media in the group, but when does your next session of Unshakable Mama start? And how can
it's
people
it's
get
ongoing.
it's
It's
ongoing? Okay,
ongoing
brilliant.
because I don't want people to have to wait
Hmm.
until it's there when
Yeah,
people are ready, kind of thing. I don't want people to have to wait for a particular
amazing.
date, because if you're ready, you're ready. Just do
Absolutely.
it.
So
I'm very much like, take the opportunity.
yeah, I think that's a really
I
good way of looking at it. So how would people, they've listened to this and they've gone, yes, actually that's what I need, how would they get into joining you?
Wow, they're welcome. You're welcome to get in touch with me. I offer free one-to-one live strategy sessions. So that kind of takes you through a similar method,
Hmm.
very bespoke for your life. And on that call, it's no obligation, obviously, but either you take away the action steps and we part ways, or you can find out more about the program. Um, and either way, you will get a lot out of that call, and it is completely obligation free.
Okay, brilliant. Do they pop your message on Facebook, Instagram?
Yeah, well, either is
Either?
fine. Yeah,
Cool.
yeah.
Okay, amazing. Well, I'm sure I can see we've had quite a few people watching this and flicking in and out. So I'm
Cool.
sure we'll get a few questions and things probably after the session because obviously 1st of December is a tense one. Are you happy for people to message you with questions after this as well?
Absolutely, yeah,
Amazing.
absolutely,
Well,
yeah. Just ping me a message on Instagram or Facebook. I'm on LinkedIn
brilliant.
as well, so although I'm quite new to LinkedIn, so just be patient with me.
Same. Okay, well, thank you so much for coming to talk to us, Michelle. That was so, so helpful. And I'm sure loads of people will find it incredibly helpful on the run up to Christmas as
I
well.
hope so. I know it's a
Um,
bit of a whistle stop tour, but as
no,
I said, there's loads I could have said, but
absolutely. It was really, really useful. So thank you so much for coming along. And to everyone else, if you have any questions for Michelle, please do pop her a message or comment below this video and she will absolutely see it. And I'll make sure it gets pinged over to her if not. But otherwise, I hope you have a wonderful Christmas. I'll be posting a few Christmas activities to do with your little one. Obviously, we've got the 12 Days of Christmas activity pack, which you can find information about if you just keep scrolling through the group. But I hope you have a wonderful, wonderful December. Thank you again so much, Michelle, for coming to join us. I'm sure we will see more of you in the future. But I hope you all have a great December and I'll speak soon. Bye.